everyone, and welcome to Wednesday's edition of Talbot Tips, Cooking with Aimee. And look who joined us today. That's because I opened a pack of Zuki's cookies. So these are animal crackers, and when I open a pack, both dogs assume they're also their treats. So when you open a pack, both dogs are always loving the Zuki's. So anyway, super glad you're all here today. I'm representing today with my Love Scarborough t-shirt. So for those of you who don't know where I live in Scarborough. It was a fundraiser for the hospital. Super glad to participate and by purchasing a t-shirt. Just an FYI, for those of you who might not know, I love to do fundraisers. If there is a fundraiser that you're very passionate about, if there is something that you have thought about to raise money in your community or your area, please hit me up because I absolutely love to help and do fundraisers. It's a fabulous way to get product into hands, but more importantly, money into or allocated to a special cause, and I love to do it. So those of you who don't know, the last month I donated $800 to the Red Cross on behalf of all of us who did buy the Ukraine bag, and the government then doubled it, so that was $1,600 that we did. So amazing, and thank you. So again, representing today with my Love Scarborough t-shirt. And there's Bristol, there and gone because he got his treat. So today I am, as I have given the teaser, we're making pierogies. And I know we've made pierogies here before, but in my opinion, you can never have too many pierogi recipes. And this is a pierogi recipe that I think you'll be able to utilize in your any holiday that you're having. With Easter around the corner, obviously, it makes a great side dish. These make beautiful appetizers. And as well, they can be made vegan. These are not. They are vegetarian. And we are making a new recipe from one of my new favorite cookbooks. And this is Tegan's Half-Baked Harvest. This is her newest cookbook. I just got it last week. I have flipped through it. I haven't started flagging anything. It's actually going to go with me next week. And so I am looking forward to trying many recipes. But today, we're actually making the cover, which is the sweet potato pierogies. And that's what we're going to whip up today. So we're first going to start with the dough. And I've already pre-made some dough, but I wanted to show you how easy this was. Whether you have a mix master or not, I did do mine in my mix master. Really simple, we don't need to, but we're going to start, and that's how we're gonna make it. So we are starting with a cup and a quarter of a pastry cake flour. So it's already got a little bit of yeast in it. And it's got a little bit of different consistency when it comes to baking. So that was the cup, and I need a quarter. My quarter is dirty, so I'm gonna eyeball my quarter, a cup and a quarter. There we go. So that's a cup and a quarter of our cake and pastry flour. And then I need 3/4 of a cup of just a regular flour, so just an all-purpose flour, and I just throw that in there. Okay, we need 1 egg. Now, I do prefer when I'm making anything dough-wise that the eggs be room temperature. Just a little tip if you forget to take your eggs out. As I have said before, all you simply need to do is put it into a warm bath water, give it 5-7 minutes, bing, bang, boom, your egg is now room temperature. So I prefer mine at room temperature. I need a teaspoon of Himalayan salt. So I have already crushed the Himalayan salt, and I just use our Pampered Chef Himalayan salt. But any of the ones that you've got at home, absolutely fabulous. So there we've got the salt there. And then we need a cup of, virgin olive oil. Again, I've just pre-measured everything just so that we can go quickly today. And then we need a cup of Greek yogurt. So I have my Measure All cup already ready to go. You all know how much I love this. This is the older version. The newer version has two different colors, blue. But what you're going to do is you're going to set it to whatever measurement you want. So I'm setting it onto my 1 cup. I'm going to grab my spatula and 1 cup of Greek yogurt, and you want it plain. And this is where that delicious tang of this dough comes from. And super basic recipe. And then once your dough is ready, you're just gonna let it sit for about a half an hour, which is awesome as well, because again, if you don't have all of the time that you need to, it's only a half of an hour to let your dough kind of settle, which is great. Don't have to worry about that too much. And then I am going to put that on the mix master. I love live. Okay, so we're going to put that on the mix master. So somebody just knocked on my door and now the dogs are going crazy. Okay, so there's a few really neat tools that we're going to be using today. So, like I said, we're going to start. Here's the dough. I am going to put the dough for now right on our pastry mat. I'm going to add just a little bit of flour for now, and I'm just going to let that sit because I want to reuse the bowl for the next set of dough. I am one of those people that if I'm going to make something, I'm going to make sure that we double the recipe. These are going to go, some of them are going to go into the freezer because again, if I'm going to be making them, I'm going to be making them. So I'm just going to let you know that this dough is going to be sticky. Like with anything with the pierogi, it will be sticky. You know what's sad? That's the big dog that you hear. So that's Bristol, who can't hear a dang thing. Can't hear a thing, but he certainly is letting us know he's here. Okay, so the dough will be sticky because of the egg and the Greek yogurt. And we're just gonna stir that up.
I didn't catch that. Entering in.
Thank you, Sally. So we're just gonna stir that up, and then we're just gonna let it sit back in a glass bowl. How many more alarms can go off today? Well, we should just have the fire alarm go off too, because that'll be fun. Okay, let me just get my hands in that. It will be messy. Like I said, it is a bit sticky. That's okay. And I just want to show you quickly what the dough will look like. So again, a pretty basic dough. Some of you might not have cake and pastry flour at home. Might be a suggestion to just go to the bulk barn and just get a little bit if you do want to whip up a pierogi. Now you can see here, different than a bread dough, that this dough is quite sticky, and that's what we want. And I will show you in a second, once we start rolling out our dough, what and why the consistency is that we want. Okay? So I'm going to try to get off as much dough as I can. And I've got some water boiling so we can go start to finish and be able to have our pierogies tonight. Let me wash my hands quickly. You can see the back of my t-shirt now, which is really cool. Again, a great fundraiser for Scarborough. Love to do fundraisers. Love to support as much as I possibly can for fundraisers. Okay, so that is our dough. Okay, glass bowl, cover it with a towel, whatever you've got. Obviously for me with my glass bowls, I've got my silicone lids, and now I'm just gonna leave it, and that's just gonna set it and forget it for the next half of an hour. We've got some water boiling. Let's do the filling, okay? So the filling is really, really great. Again, simple. I have already pre-made the sweet potatoes, okay? So I've got 4 sweet potatoes going on because again, I am going to double this recipe because I'm going to put some in my freezer. I threw them in the oven at 425 for about an hour because these were big suckers. Just poked holes in them, didn't need to do anything else. And now my skin is just quickly falling off. And there we go, that's one. Again, these are full vegetarian, not vegan because I am going to use real Parmesan cheese, but for those vegans out there, I do have a different pierogi recipe for dough if you would like to use a dairy-free. There's beautiful dairy-free yogurts that are out there now that you would be able to substitute. It's the egg that you would want different. And again, I've got another couple recipes. So if you are vegan and would like a vegan recipe for pierogi, please don't hesitate to hit me up. I love to help. And you can see how simple and easy it is just to have the skins just falling right off these potatoes. Again, threw them into the oven at a 425 oven for about an hour, and that's it. Skins are off, no waste, easy as pie, and then I am going to mash those up, okay? So I am today going to use my potato masher. Now I haven't really talked about my potato masher. If you do follow me on socials, you will know that I absolutely love this sucker. This is how it's stored. It folds, which is awesome, and then you just squeeze it, and that's it. So you see how it's like magic. It's crazy. You do it one-handed. So again, if you've got one hand that's dirty, messy, whatever, and now I'm just gonna mash the sweet potatoes right into the bowl. And I'm using a glass bowl. I'm not even worried about putting extra pressure on and worrying about hurting the glass bowl with this masher because it's not too gentle, or it is gentle, I should say. And I'm normally not gentle. Those of you who know me well. I'm like a bull in a china shop. You can see there, fast and easy, that's done. And now we are going to add some freshly ground salt and pepper. Okay. And we don't need too much because the cheese that we're going to add, we're adding some Parmesan cheese. Parmesan cheese has a bit of salt in it as well. You don't want them too salty. You still want that delicious tang that you're going to get from the Greek yogurt, which I love. And we're going to make a garlic or a brown butter and sage mixture that the pierogies are going to sit in. So as well, you're going to get some salt as well because we're using regular butter. And then I'm going to use a cup of cheese. So shredded Parmesan. So I've already started shredding some just again to save time. So again, fast and easy. Now I can just fold it back up and I can toss it in the dishwasher. And again, it's not taking up a lot of space. So I'm just gonna continue to grate the cheese, and I'm just using our old fine grater. So for those of you who don't have a fine grater, I absolutely love this one. I love the old and the new, I should say. There was nothing wrong with my old one, which is why I didn't switch it out. But what I love about it is that this is how I grate limes, lemons when I need zest. This is how I use it. I use this one also for ginger and obviously cheeses. It does have a safety on it and really easy to use. And because it goes right over the bowls, again, I can put it right over a pan if I am doing a dessert or something like lemon. And you know how much I love my glass bowls because they already act as a measuring cup as well. So not only am I just grating into the bowl, but it is measuring as we go. Okay, so these are a sweet potato Parmesan stuffed pierogi. Beautiful side for any holiday or an appetizer in my opinion, because they're really savory, delicious vegetarian recipe, not vegan. But again, you can make changes accordingly, and that is awesome. And if you are not a huge cheese person and you want to omit some of this cheese, you go crazy, absolutely. It calls for a half a cup, but because I'm doubling the recipe, I am using a whole cup, and there we go. I've got a cup of shredded Parmesan, and I'm just gonna throw that right into the bowl, and then I'm just gonna mix that up, okay? Look at that. Super simple. I have done this one as well with squash. I have used acorn squash as a leftover for pierogi stuffed. Also with cheese. We're big cheesers here. Anything that might have extra cheese is an all-time favorite as well. So there we have it. We've got our sweet potatoes, some salt and some pepper, and some Parmesan cheese, and our filling is good to go. So I am quickly going to roll some out because I want to show you guys from start to finish how we do it. Because while the pierogies are cooking, like I said, I've got a pot of water already boiling, ready to go. But we're going to roll the dough because I want to show you what the dough should look like. And again, really simple, different than bread dough. It's got a different consistency. We just want a little bit of flour. Now this is our pastry mat. Love the pastry mat. Love the ease and simplicity of it, and I also love how well it cleans. So you can see there the dough, even when I am rolling it out, how it is starting to pull away a little bit. I need some more flour. Now I don't want to dry them out too much, so I don't want to keep the dough out too long. The suggestion would be maybe having a tray, a sheet of some kind of cookie sheet, and maybe a damp cloth that you would then, if you're doing several pierogies at a time, cutting them and then having them laid out on the tray with the damp cloth over it, and then you could take it and go. Now this recipe as well, like I said, freezes beautifully. So again, if you're about to make pierogies, you might want to make a good batch or two like I am today. I am then going to as well put them on a pan. I'm going to freeze them for about 30 to 40 minutes, and then I can take them off there and put them into a container, and they are good for 3 to 4 months in your freezer. And again, they thaw and cook just as beautifully. There's not a lot of fuss to it. So I am going to today be using that hand pie maker, and that's because I can. I absolutely love this little sucker because there's so many things I can do with it. So the one side cuts and seals. This side, we're obviously going to use it as the seal itself. We're just gonna do like a half size. It does a full hand pie. This week I did a video on pizza pockets. I did regular pies. I have to say, Dave absolutely loves this because all of a sudden he'll say, do you want a little dessert? And he knows that in a matter of 20 minutes from start to finish, we have homemade pies. Now, I do suggest flouring the outside of your hand pie maker. I do find the dough sticks a tiny bit, not terribly, but I don't want it to stick at all. Like, let's be realistic. So, for the inside, any filling, the spoon comes with it. So if you're going to do a half, like we are for the pierogies today, you're just gonna use 1 scoop from the spoon. And if you are using a full-on hand pie, you're going to be using 2 scoops. So now I just fold it so it seals it tight, and we have our sealed pierogi. So that's pierogi 1. We'll get a couple going. We'll get some water, some of them boiling into the water, and then we're gonna start our filling. Not the filling, this is the filling. We're gonna start our brown butter that is going to sit in our pierogies. Now, if you're going to serve these as an appetizer, you could easily do these ahead of time. Pierogies in the air fryer, I'm not sure if you guys have done them yet. They are absolutely incredible. They come out very, very crunchy, and they come out, oh, I've blown my butt here. I don't think I was paying attention. They come out very crunchy and almost, in my opinion, like an appetizer. So again, if you would be using these, say as an appetizer, they're quite handy in the air fryer. So I'm gonna do about 4, just so that I can show you guys. The dough is starting to get dry on the one side and sticky on the other. So this is one of those things that you want to make sure that you've got all of your bits and pieces, everything going and ready to go. Again, for sealing, I'm breaking my butt here. There we go, much better. That one, oh no. There we go. Pierogi 3, and we'll get one more going. Again, just do a little bit of flour there. I just shake it out, and another scoop. This filling is so good, as just an FYI. If you've got some left over, it makes really great soup. It's a nice base for a soup to add sweet potato. Okay, and sealing it. And there we go. Okay, so we've got 4 pierogies, and I'm gonna throw them in our boiling water right now. And then I'm gonna turn on the stove. I've got my 12-inch pan happening here, and I am going to do, I need 6 tablespoons of salted butter and 8, I'm just gonna roll this up for now. There we go. So I need 6 tablespoons of butter, and I need 8 leaves of the sage leaves, okay? And then the key to all of this deliciousness is to add some nutmeg to your butter and sage mix. Well, today I'm actually going to be using Cinnamon Plus because I can. So the Cinnamon Plus has cinnamon, obviously. It also has nutmeg, allspice, orange peel, cloves, and ginger. So because this recipe is asking for a 1/4 of a teaspoon of freshly ground nutmeg, the Cinnamon Plus is going to give it just that extra enhancement with the cinnamon and the orange peel and such as well. So I need 6 tablespoons of butter. So I've got my butter here, and it is softened. Okay. And just gonna put that. Now this does 4 tablespoons at a time, but again, you know how much I love my measure all cups. My hands are not dirty. Nothing is messy. It's awesome. And there we go. That's 4 tablespoons here. Putting it right into the pan. The pan's already getting hot. I'll add 2 more tablespoons. And what we're doing here is we are putting the butter together with the sage. We're gonna cook it for about 3 or 4 minutes. Then we're gonna add the nutmeg, and by then the pierogies should have floated to the top, and then we're just gonna put it in our brown butter sauce. Doesn't that sound incredible? A beautiful side for any holiday, an appetizer, or as a main with a salad. This is incredible. So I am just doing a single batch of the actual mix right now. So we've got the butter going on there. And then the sage leaves, I need 8 fresh sage leaves, and they want us to chop finely the sage leaves. So I just got the sage. I'm going to use the all-purpose chopper because I want them as a nice piece, but I don't want them completely chopped. I will take the stems off. They smell incredible. I mean, who doesn't love sage? Okay. And I'm just going to chop some of our sage leaves right there. Our chopper, and I've just chopped the sage leaves. Fast, simple. Add that to the pan. We'll give that a little mix. And we're going to let the butter actually brown. And again, we want it for about 3 or 4 minutes. Now I did the 12-inch pan so that as I continue to do this, they should all fit into the pan, which is great. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt. Not much, because again, the butter's got a little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. And now I'm going to add my cinnamon plus. And I need 1/4 of a teaspoon. And so thankful that Pampered Chef, our stackable measuring spoons actually come with 1/4 and 1/8 of a teaspoon. Not many measuring, for those of you who are bakers out there, not many measuring spoons actually do have that small number. And it's so great. Okay, I cannot even tell you how amazing it smells right now. Between the sage and now the nutmeg cinnamon plus, the delicious smell that is going on here. Okay, so I'm going to take the pierogies out. Now this is one of our other new tools. This just came out this spring. How amazing is this, where the pierogies are floating to the top right now. I can just scoop them out and add them to the brown butter mixture going on here. The spider net is big enough where I can just quickly scoop and lay them in. So we're just going to cook them we're pan frying them, it says here. Working with batches, yeah, and it just says to toss to coat, because obviously, as we know, the pierogies are now cooked, but you want this delicious that's going on in the skillet. I'm going to flip them. Turning my heat down a tiny bit. And there you have it. Now I will be posting this recipe over on my VIPeeps page. Again, if you are not on the VIPeeps page, head on over to the VIP page. Hit me up if you can't find it. I would love to have you over there. There's nothing more fun to me than people sharing their favorite recipes, sharing why we love our products. And I will not be here next week. I am actually going, finally after 2 years, I'm going to my cabin. And I will not be doing a live. But I wanted to show you guys Yeah, there is a bit more extra sauce because like I said, I've only done 4. But look how delicious and amazing these pierogies turned out today. From start to finish, not a really hard recipe to fool around with. Any filling can be done. If you don't like a sweet potato, change it out for a regular potato, add any cheese to it, absolutely. Again, any dietary restrictions, please don't hesitate to hit me up. I love, love, love to help. Thank you all for being here. Pierogies, a sweet potato pierogi is what is cooking tonight on Wednesday. Love that you're all here. Thanks for watching. Again, if you would like more information, hop on over to VIPeeps. I will be posting this recipe. And this is from Tegan's new cookbook, Half Baked Harvest, which I love her. This is her 3rd cookbook, and I am a fan. I love her little stories. She writes like little stories in her recipes about why she's created these recipes, where they've come from. I love them. These cookbooks read like a book. So if you are a fan, do it. Otherwise, like I said, I'm going to post this recipe over on my VIPeeps page. Glad you are all here. Have a great Wednesday, and I know what I'm having, sweet potato pierogies. It's what's for dinner on Wednesday. Thanks, everybody.